Found guilty of murder, Thomas Capano sits behind the walls of Gander Hill Prison tonight. Now the former attorney will try to win his biggest courtroom battle, the battle to save his own life. Good evening, everyone. I'm Siani Lee.
And I'm John Alston. Our top story tonight, the fall of Thomas Capano. A jury fined the once prominent Wilmington attorney guilty of killing Anne Marie Fahey. You heard it first here on News 10 as the verdict was read.
Of first-degree murder. Tom Capano is guilty of first-degree murder. According to the jury foreperson, the verdict has just been announced in the courtroom.
After that verdict was read, he did not say a word as police took him out of the back door of the courthouse to a waiting van. He was then whisked off to a jail cell that has been his home for more than a year. And the jury was also led to a waiting van parked in back. Jurors were taken to an undisclosed location to be reunited with their families. Jurors are still not able to talk about their experience until the penalty and sentencing phase is over.
Extra, extra! Capano found guilty!
News of that verdict spread very quickly across Wilmington. Within hours, the Wilmington News-Journal printed an extra edition with headlines of Capano's guilty verdict splashed across the front page. It was the first time the paper has put out an extra in more than a decade.
The Capano case and the verdict turned many lives upside down. Brothers and sisters, mothers and sons, changed forever by one man's actions. For some, it's an end. For others, a new beginning. News 10's Barbara Monaco is live outside Wilmington's Gander Hill Prison. Barbara, how are the key figures dealing with the verdict tonight?
Well, Siani, for one, Tom Capano is in a cell behind me in Gander Hill Prison. His lawyers say he was not expecting the jury to find him guilty. That verdict and the crime itself have affected many lives. In a way, Anne Marie Fahey was not the only victim. Tom Capano's daughters leaving the courtroom after their father was found guilty of murder. A friend's hand may shield them momentarily from news cameras, but neither it nor all their family's wealth can shield them from the pain.
My son is innocent. She was drunk.
Tom Capano's mother, upon entering the courtroom, her demeanor speaks volumes.
What are some of your hopes this morning?
What do you think?
Upon hearing the guilty verdict, Fahey family friend Kevin Friel flashes a thumbs-up sign. But in this case, there are no winners. Anne Marie's family can attest to that.
We all miss Anne Marie, and she's not coming home. I tell my children every night that Annie loves them, and I give them a kiss. And this has been difficult because they asked me, why was Annie in a cooler?
That cooler, a turning point in the case. Family members say it gave them hope and faith.
I think God made that happen, and I honestly believe that. That was not a fluke. It was not luck. I said before, and I'll say it again, finding that cooler was a gift from God. Please.
Capano's other mistress, Deborah McIntyre, the woman he blamed for the crime. Her life exposed and changed forever. Still, she told reporters, she and her children will stay in Wilmington.
I'm a very private person. Haven't been able to be that way for a year. And I am very hopeful that we can go back to that soon. Today is the first day of the beginning of the rest of my exciting life.
Now, the penalty phase of the trial begins on Wednesday. The jury has to decide whether to recommend life in prison or the death penalty. At Gander Hill Prison, Barbara Monaco, News 10.
Anne Marie Fahey was the scheduling secretary for Delaware Governor Tom Carper. The governor issued this statement today. He said, quote, "The verdict announced today brings only more sadness for me and everyone who knew Anne Marie as a friend, family member, and co-worker. I hope that the end of this trial can bring closure and a measure of peace to everyone who has been affected by this tragedy for more than 2 years. I will always remember Anne Marie Fahey as a beautiful and loving person full of life, a kind and compassionate young woman who cared deeply about her family and friends."
Tom Capano says he covered Fahey's death to protect Deborah McIntyre, another of his former mistresses. He claims McIntyre is the one who fired the fatal shot. News 10's Doug Schimel has more on the woman who stood to lose the most from the verdict.
I just started to weep. Tear, just my whole body was shaking. I was so tremendously relieved.
She had prayed for a guilty verdict from the moment Debbie McIntyre says she realized her long-term lover, Tom Capano, may have killed Anne Marie Fahey. She told News 10's Matt Stevens it also took her a while to believe he might actually try to have her killed.
After I came forward and started to cooperate with the government, the rumor was out, and I didn't put much credence in it. I didn't think he would ever do such a thing.
Why not? Didn't his demeanor change enough in the letters and the phone calls to make you believe that he would do anything to save his life?
I began to see that, and finally put it all together in June of 1998, and could see it very clearly. As I pulled away from the control, I became I was more able to think more clearly, and began to see that I had been manipulated and controlled. And a couple incidents, the burglary and the murder attempt, certainly awakened me.
Even with all those ghosts haunting the town she says she loves, Debbie McIntyre claims she will not leave.
I really want to retreat back into the privacy of my life quickly.
But is there any lingering sentiment for the man Debbie McIntyre once said she wanted to spend the rest of her life with?
I do not love Tom Capano at all.
But Debbie McIntyre is not free of Tom Capano just yet. It is very possible she may be called back as a witness in the sentencing portion of the Capano case, and she may very well be urged to ask the court to spare her ex-lover the death penalty. In Wilmington, Doug Schimel, News 10.
Legal experts say it was Capano's decision to take the stand that may have contributed to the jury's decision. His lawyers would not comment about that, but they did have plenty of other things to say about the very highly publicized trial.
Sure, I've tried a lot of big cases all around the country, and this is a feeding frenzy. I mean, this is O.J. Jr. with a different result.
Tom came to me because he'd been a friend of mine for years, and I know I've taken some criticism from friends of mine who feel that, you know, I should never have represented them. But, you know, the system, the laws that we live in this country is that you don't back down from representing people who are friends in time of need.
And during the investigation, Colm Connolly took a lot of heat from the press and from Tom Capano. The lead prosecutor and U.S. attorney talked exclusively with News 10's Matt Stevens about the verdict.
Ferris and I think from the outset were impressed with the attentiveness of the jury and their willingness to endure a pretty horrific schedule, especially the last day. We spent a lot of time determining how to present the case, and we were satisfied that the case went in well, so we didn't have any kind of doubts or second guesses as to the way we presented the case.
Prosecutors will begin the penalty and sentencing phase of this case on Wednesday. And here's how it works in Delaware. Jurors will make a recommendation to the judge after hearing witnesses from both sides. The judge will then set a sentencing date and decide whether Capano will get life or death.
News 10's Matt Stevens will be there to cover it as he has been during the entire trial. This evening, Matt discussed the trial on WWDB radio with host Frank Rizzo Jr. He told callers that the lawyers on both sides acted professionally. He also said Capano's decision to testify against the advice of his counsel was a turning point. News 10 will be there to continue the coverage for you throughout the penalty phase. When developments happen, we'll bring them to you live.
And that was obviously the wrong video. We apologize for that. But coming up next, can computers give your children an aching back? Coming up on News 10 at 11, details of research that may make you want to keep your kids offline.
We'll tell you why Philadelphia Mayor Ed Rendell was on night work. She had a special event tonight.
And I'm meteorologist Kathy Orr. It's back to work and back to school. What to pack along for the ride, and how long will this warm spell last? It's a January thaw, and it looks like it could last some time. We'll check it out with the exclusive Earthwatch 5-day forecast as News 10 continues.
You're watching News 10 at 11.
Police say that they have nabbed a suspected arsonist. News 10 on the scene at 17th and Walnut Street says police arrested 47-year-old John Smith earlier this morning. Police say the man set 2 storefronts on fire as well as 2 trash cans. No word on a motive. Smith is charged with 7 counts of arson, risking a catastrophe, and trespassing. Pottstown police are looking for other suspects in last night's shooting that killed 1 man and wounded another. The shooting began at Washington and King, where 1 person was wounded in the leg. It ended 5 blocks away, where police say Kevin Washington fatally shot 16-year-old Kevin Cornish in the back several times. Police have Washington in custody. An incident on Friday night may have been the motive.
Tomorrow, the nation remembers Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. with a federal holiday. The celebration started today here in Philadelphia. News 10 in Mount Airy for the 16th annual Northwest Community Celebration of Dr. King. About 40 local organizations and congregations joined to support the man who believed in equality for all Americans. News 10 also at Bryn Mawr College for a Mainline King celebration. News 10's Renee Chenault was also on hand. The Mainline Martin Luther King Association, which sponsored the event, also awarded scholarships to college students from the area.
A massive accident on a Midwest highway today. Up next on News 10 at 11, the latest on the huge pileup that shut down an interstate.
And President Clinton gets ready to come to Norristown as the Senate prepares for the second phase of his impeachment trial.
You're watching News 10 at 11. You're watching News 10 at 11.
It is a night of devastation in parts of the South where tornadoes blew through town. Storms ripped through Arkansas, damaging homes and other buildings. Several injuries are reported. However, apparently nobody has been killed. The National Weather Service says 2 to 4 twisters touched down there, some carrying hail the size of baseballs. A major freeway through Detroit is back open tonight after a nasty pileup. 50 cars and trucks wiped out. One witness called it a pinball machine of wreckage along I-94. At least a dozen people were hurt. Tonight, one woman is in critical condition. Michigan State Police are blaming heavy fog, icy roads, and drivers going too fast. A major rail line in the Midwest remains blocked after a deadly collision. 3 freight trains crashed into each other west of Toledo. 2 crew members are dead. Several nearby homes had to be evacuated. Computers are supposed to keep the trains from hitting each other. It is not clear if fog played a role in the accident.
On the News 10 Health Watch at 11, computers help educate our children, but at what price to their physical health? A Cornell University study finds children who sit at computers suffer back problems and bad posture. It blames the workstation setup, especially when the monitor and keyboard sit higher than recommended. The study's main author says the findings must be addressed because of the national push to place computers in schools. President Clinton is spending the weekend working on his State of the Union speech while his lawyers get ready to present his defense in the Senate impeachment trial. Today, the president and the First Lady took time out to attend church together in Washington. It was 1 year ago today that the president was first asked about his relationship with Monica Lewinsky. That came during questioning by attorneys in the Paula Jones sexual harassment case. On Tuesday, the president's lawyers will begin his defense. Mr. Clinton delivers the State of the Union message on Tuesday night. And President Clinton is coming to the Delaware Valley on Wednesday. News 10 is planning special live coverage of his visit to Norristown High School. So keep it right here for the most complete coverage.
The city of Philadelphia is looking for a few good 4th of July babies. Organizers of the city's Millennium Celebration are looking for 100 people born on the 4th from 1900 through 1999 and 1 from each state. The winners will get a free trip here and take part in a group picture in front of Independence Hall on July 4th, 2000. You can get more information by calling a Millennium 2000 at 215-686-2000. Mayor Ed Rendell has a new title tonight. News 10 at Merlin's Magical Fantasy Ball at the Ritz-Carlton in Center City tonight. Mayor Rendell was knighted, at least for the evening, as Sir Edward of Hospitality. Watch out. The event was sponsored by national catering executives. Later, a good-natured Rendell said this tops the list of shtick in his 7 years as mayor.
Sir Edward, wait till I see him again. Time now to get a check of the forecast. If you like today's weather, let's hope it might stick around a little bit as far as the temperatures are concerned, Kathy.
Well, we're going to be able to keep half of the forecast.
Okay.
We'll keep the warmth. We have to exchange it for some precipitation, some well-needed rain. Right now, not too concerned about flooding because this is a swift-moving system. But we'll continue to keep you updated on that situation. Let's start off this evening with the Pico Weather Net. We're going to travel to Ewing, New Jersey, and Parkway School. And what a day it was. The high temperature near 60 degrees today after a morning low of 36. Right now the temperature is 40, and temperatures will actually warm overnight tonight as a warm front moves up from the southwest. Right now the wind is very light and out of the east. At Philadelphia International, made it to a high temperature of 56 after a morning low of 30. Normally we see a high only of 37. so nearly 20 degrees above the norm. The record high on this date, 63, set back in 1913. Temperatures right now range from the 30s to the 40s. In Philadelphia, 40 and mostly cloudy in the Poconos, and 39 down the shore in Wildwood. Still seeing some partly cloudy skies, in 43 in Wilmington, mainly clear in 42. As the clouds thicken, we'll be seeing some rain showers moving in as well. Right now, Doppler radar showing a little ground clutter through New Jersey. Here is the rain moving in from the south and the west, and we'll be seeing it toward tomorrow morning. So when you wake up, get ready for school, get ready for work, that's when we'll be seeing the rain. Right now on the Doppler radar, you can see precipitation moving in from the south and from the west, already through Pittsburgh, heading towards State College. And this is all associated with that warm front. So I'm not that concerned about temperatures coming close to freezing, because they'll begin to warm up overnight, and then the rain showers will be moving in. Take a look at this. The exclusive Earthwatch fly, high pressure, drifts off the coast. We say goodbye to the sun. Here are the clouds and that warm air that will be building in overnight. Cold front swings through tomorrow afternoon with a second batch of heavier precipitation, but still mild on the back side of that system, so temperatures will remain mild for the rest of this work week. Our forecast map for the rest of tonight showing the milder air pushing on in. Showers move in very early this morning, and then the secondary batch with thunderstorms possible during the afternoon. So you have rain in the morning, a little bit of a midday break around lunchtime, and then during the afternoon, a few thunderstorms possible ahead of the front. That cold front moves on through and still remaining mild, above normal for this time of year. As we look a little bit further into the future, this is the 6 to 10 day outlook for precipitation. We're expecting above normal precip and above normal temperatures. So our forecast for the rest of tonight, looking forward to some rain showers moving in. Shouldn't be a problem during the morning commute. 33 to 37 overnight tonight, with those temperatures rising to the 40s by tomorrow morning. Rain and wind during the day tomorrow could be heavy at times, especially during the afternoon. In Center City, 58, and our suburbs going for 50 degrees. On the exclusive Earthwatch 5-day forecast, drier but cooler. Still pleasant for Tuesday, 48 by Wednesday, increasing clouds 50. Thursday and Friday, we're going for milder temperatures in the upper 40s. Sunny on Thursday, rain for Friday. And the further outlook, the extended for Saturday and Sunday, calling for seasonable to above normal temperatures and some rain showers. So a good day to stay inside next weekend, or, you know, if you like the rain. We like that. That's right. Here's something that the Earthwatch weather team is very excited about. We're teaming up with the Franklin Institute to provide weather seminars for area schools. So kids, tell your teachers you're in grades K through 7 to call for reservations, 215-448-1201. They're going to be starting next week, and they should be a lot of fun.
Can we come too?
Yes, you can come.
We may learn something.
You will learn something.
Okay, thanks,
Kathy. Just ahead on News 10, Randall is out, but Elway is in. Dan Brady will give you all the Super Bowl party details when we return.
Super Bowl last year, they're looking to win 2 straight. Greg Gumbel, back to you.
To believe that we are looking at a Super Bowl in just 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
Where did it all go?
We're having too much fun.
Yeah, we well, an Eagles season, of course, we know what happened there. It was in the mud. But an NFC Championship game without the 49ers, Packers, or Cowboys. We have one, Falcons and Vikings. They combined for 29 wins in the regular season. Falcons were in pretty good spirits, offering a little friendly jab at the coin toss. First quarter, it's 7-0 Falcons. This is Randall Cunningham, his first NFC Championship game. This is the first of 2 touchdown passes right on the tips of Randy Moss. 31 yards, but Moss only had 1 catch in the second half. That's Felicity. 2:07 to go in regulation. Vikings lead by 7. They could put it away, but Gary Anderson misses a 38-yard field goal. Anderson was 35 for 35 in the regular season. So new life for the Falcons. They tie the game. 71-yard drive and a $1.18. Chandler to Mathis, 27-27. And there is the Dirty Bird. First time since the merger, an NFC Championship game goes to overtime. Atlanta's Morton Anderson, he also gets a 38-yarder, and he gets the win. 30-27, Atlanta in overtime. Randall had 2 big fumbles today. Dan Reeves going to his 9th Super Bowl as a player or a coach. Jamal Anderson could not believe that the Falcons were 11-point underdogs despite 14 wins in the regular season.
We want you to disrespect us. We want you to make us the underdogs, because it's just the Falcons that are up the podium smiling at the end of the game.
I don't feel that we did offensively what we needed to do, so I can't put the blame anywhere but myself.
Denver's Mile High Stadium, AFC Championship game, Broncos and the Jets. Third quarter, Broncos punting from in their own end zone. The rookie, Blake Spence, with a block. Jets recover at the Denver 1. Next play, Curtis Martin, 10-0 Jets. Jets, though, only had 14 yards rushing. John Elway, age 38, 3 plays, 64-yard drive, touchdown pass to Howard Griffin. Jets lead cut to 10-7. Mike Shanahan's team has won 18 straight. In Denver, Terrell Davis, 167 yards for Davis, his 6th straight game in the playoffs with 100 yards or more, and down the stretch they go. Broncos force 6 turnovers, 23-10 Denver. Elway, quite possibly his final home game, wins his 5th conference championship.
You know, we're going to have to go and play better football than we did today, but we're excited about we're the team from the AFC.
And in 2 weeks, Elway will play in his 5th Super Bowl. That's more than any quarterback in the history of the National Football League. Broncos are favored by 7 points over Atlanta. It's the first time since the '91 Bills against the Giants that the AFC has been favored to win the Super Bowl. In fact, when the season opened, bettors could get 60-1 odds on Atlanta to win the Super Bowl, and they're in the big show. All right, Mike Tyson, he still has a boxing career. He knocked out Francois Botha last night in round 5. Tyson was behind on all 3 scorecards, and he did have a cut over his right eye, but Tyson now 43-3, 40 KOs, and he will live to fight another day.
Did he swear at a reporter yet?
Yes, he did. Doesn't he always?
Okay.
I'm so surprised. We'll be right back.
Bleep. Bleep.
I'm Maureen O'Boyle. On the next Extra, the world knew her as Urkel's girlfriend in Callie on The Young and the Restless, but in private, Michelle Thomas battled a deadly disease.
She hid it very well.
Now her co-stars talk to Extra about their tragic loss, taken too soon. Then, Christmas in Florida sounded great to this young surfer until he stuck his foot into the jaws of a deadly beast. Hear the horrifying tale, Surfing with a Shark, next Extra.
Monday at 7 on NBC 10.
Finals next.
Ready?
When you saw it here, you saw it first. News 10 with breaking details in the Tom Capano murder trial.
The jury sends word it has reached a verdict.
When you saw it here, you saw it live. News 10 first with the verdict.
Guilty of first-degree murder.
Bringing you live team coverage.
Tom insisted on getting up there and telling things his way.
And the first live pictures of Tom Capano and the jury immediately following the guilty verdict. When news breaks, the Delaware Valley depends on News 10.